live, although I'm going to get rid of that first. Yo, what is going on? It's the Straight Up Bus Taz. We have no Dingle with us today. He's hurt his ankle. He just can't help but hurt himself. He's very injury prone. Bless his polyesters. My name's R-Techz. We're going to do this a fast one. I'm going to go to the man who his name ends in M. Who are you?
I am Gem. I'm just some dude. Looking forward to this episode. I've got a serious topic tonight. So let's get on with it. I'm going to pass you over to the man whose second initial is D.
What up, my glipglots? I'm SD, your favourite neighbourhood arsehole. Hope you enjoy this episode tonight. And back to you, R-Techz.
Thank you very much. Yeah, well, I'm not really going to be saying much for the time being. Pass you back around to Gem. He's going to take you through the serious topic. So let's get going. On you.
So the serious topic tonight is actually something I said to these guys. It's only happened in the last couple of days. What I meant was it only happened today.
Oh.
So that's why it's hot news. So today, as of recording and streaming, that is that the US have agreed to send cluster bombs to Ukraine. So just so everyone knows, we are British, and Britain has signed a treaty to say that we think that cluster bombs are illegal, so we don't use it, and everyone who's signed on to the treaty don't use them. And, well, cluster bombs are really messy. Let's just put it that way.
What are they? I've heard the term, but I don't know what they are.
So a cluster bomb is basically a big bomb where instead of that exploding, what it does is it opens up and releases lots of little bomblets, which then pepper an area, and then they all go off and just blow up indiscriminately.
Sheesh.
You cannot control where they land, just a vague area. But the thing is that they also have a very high fail rate, where they'll land and not go off, and then they'll be inert for days, weeks, months, years, and then just get nudged slightly and then suddenly go off. Which is why the places where cluster bombs have been used before are same as unmapped minefields are really bad, because kids will eventually go there and play in that area, and you're going to end up with kids with missing limbs because they're playing football and one of them stepped on a cluster bomb, or
Sheesh.
was just a bit too close to one, and something shifted and it went off. But yeah,
damn.
Biden went after some deliberation, because the Ukrainians are running out of ammo, we've given them cluster bombs. And I'm there thinking, if they're running out of ammo, just give them ammo.
Yeah, why has he gone on to that extreme?
Well, in Biden.
What's this about Biden? Oh, Biden is a lizard, did you just say?
Yeah.
He's a lizard with dementia from the sounds of things.
Mm.
Well,
Did you know that,
or Alzheimer's, whichever's worse.
did you know that a few weeks ago he said God save the Queen?
Oh no.
Oh my god.
He's behind.
Yeah, he's a bit behind, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's pretty bugging up.
Yeah. Apparently Ukraine have already been using them in the war, but then so has Russia. So yeah, on the one hand, they've been using them on each other already, but it's the fact that we now know that not only did the US have them, but they were willing to send them over.
Yeah, right. I didn't even realise they had much to do with it anyway. I mean, I don't really know American news, so... But I didn't realise they had much hand in it.
Everyone who is against Russia have been funneling in loads and loads of weapons, equipment, ammunition, all of that into Ukraine to help the Ukrainians against the Russians, because if we let Russia win, they won't stop at Ukraine.
Yeah, but there's a NATO country just on the other side of Ukraine.
Yeah, but he's saying that basically Ukraine chose to go over to NATO. Whether NATO were like pushing them towards wanting to do it is kind of irrelevant. But
probably why they're pushing for the European army.
Yeah, well, NATO includes America anyway, so it won't be the European army, will it?
No, what I mean is, like, well, NATO includes all nations, and pretty much any nation can sign up. It's all about the European Parliament wanting a European army, so they can have a continental army.
I would argue,
which would be a bad idea because it'll end up in nuclear war, because it'll be a massive super state versus another one.
Yeah.
Worse than America and Russia.
I would argue that...
Worse, even, not worse, because worse ain't a word.
So worse is...
Am I allowed to continue my statement before I get interrupted again?
I actually answered your statement.
I know, I was about to make another statement.
Alright, go for it.
I was about to say, I would argue that the nations that are part of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization should be on the North Atlantic.
Right.
Well, they could change the name of it.
Well, they would have to change the name of it, wouldn't they?
Change it to...
Northern Hemisphere Treaty Organization.
Yeah.
So I know that SATO also exists.
NATU.
Jeez.
Yeah, because SATO also exists, the South Atlantic. And then I believe there might be a NPTO, which is North Pacific.
NPTO? That sounds like a Naruto character. Oh yeah, NPTO!
But yeah, I'll read out some bits from the...
and Bob's.
Yeah, from the article that I was reading about this.
Far away.
So, several allies of the US have expressed unease at Washington's decision to supply Ukraine with cluster bombs. On Friday, the US confirmed it was sending the controversial weapons to Ukraine, with President Joe Biden calling it a very difficult decision. In response, the UK, Canada, and Spain all pointed out that they were opposed to the use of the weapons. Cluster bombs have been banned by more than 100 countries because of the danger they pose to civilians.
With something of that scale, you're going to get bloody... It's not going to be just a simple weapon, is it?
No. Mr. Biden told CNN in an interview on Friday that he had spoken to allies about the decision, which was part of a military aid package worth $800 million, or £626 million. Sheesh. The president said it had taken him a while to be convinced to do it, but he had acted because the Ukrainians are running out of ammunition. If they're running out of ammunition, just send them ammunition.
We're running out of ammunition. Here, why don't you instead have one of the most dangerous... access to one of the most dangerous weapons in the world that's banned in 100 countries.
Yeah. 123, I believe.
123. Well, of course it's not banned in bloody America. They want it all.
America's not... hasn't signed on to pretty much any of the international treaties on what can and can't be used in war and what can and can't be considered war crimes. Because if they sign on to it, then that means that they then lose the ability to use these things. They can agree that it's bad, and they can say that we won't use them.
Yeah.
Or they'll say we will refrain from using them. That's generally what they tend to say.
Yeah.
But it's never specifically banned by them.
No.
It's part of the reason why you hear a lot about, like, you know, when the Americans were in Afghanistan and Iraq, you heard a lot about them committing war crimes.
Yeah.
But you never really heard anything about the soldiers who committed American soldiers who committed war crimes actually facing a criminal sentence.
No.
Whereas,
not normally actual names named, is there?
No. Whereas British soldiers who had, or, you know, French, Belgian, whatever other soldiers who were there who committed war crimes, they all went to The Hague. Each and every single one of them.
Went to the what?
The Hague. The War Criminals Court.
Ah, right, okay. I'm such an uncultured swine.
You know what I mean, right? Like, they went there and they were tried by
Supreme Court.
Basically Belgians.
Intel.
Yeah, well, I guess that goes to show the difference between somewhere like there and obviously little old Britain.
Yeah. It would be nice if the person who might actually have some knowledge on this kind of thing was paying attention to the conversation and
it would
was
be
actually
great.
Responding.
Well, the Americans tend to not give a shit about when it comes to human rights and that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's true.
They kind of do their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of money at their disposal. And I've all heard stories about Americans when they're on like tour and whatnot. And a friend of mine was on tour with one of these Americans, and they literally had barbecues, anything they wanted. They could even fire the American weapons, so they were just sat there, like, middle of a fucking desert, you know, like, I'll just pop a few fucking rounds off. It's like, alright. Pretty cool, alright.
Just don't give a toss, yeah.
I mean, all he was he had a job to do, because I can't give any description.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, because we don't want to give the enemy, or, no, you don't want to give the people who you don't want knowing certain things so they can't, I don't know, that sort of thing.
The opposing force.
Yeah, and the Americans were like really friendly. They had like better food. He didn't have to eat his rations because he was eating their food because they had a cook. Slept in their tent, so he didn't have to sleep in the back of his vehicle. You know, that sort of thing. And they were really friendly. But they did like... That was one thing. What was it? It was... Telling me about how one of them shot some rich bloke's prize camel with an RPG.
What? Camel?
Confiscated off a Iraqi, I think.
Oh, that sounds oddly like a story I heard from a guy I used to work with at Tesco.
Huh?
Except that wasn't the Americans, that was the Canadians. He and a Canadian got together and had a bit of a laugh.
Bit of a laugh.
It was a goat. It was actually a goat.
Oh,
right. Yeah, because...
And it wasn't an RPG, it was like a GPMG.
So we've gone from RPGing a camel to this.
I think he's mistaking this. He's obviously heard the same story that I've heard from this guy, because SD and I used to work together at Tesco at one point.
Oh, this was a different guy I got this story from.
Yeah, but we used to work with a guy who's an ex-squaddy.
Ex-squaddy, yeah.
I should have actually thought about it first before I said it.
Yeah, and
like most things to say.
You know what, I'm not very good about thinking before speaking.
his story is that he was with some Canadians, and they were just milling about, waiting to be sent off on their next mission, and the Canadians just got a fresh shipment of rocket launchers, and so they were like, "Oh yeah, pick one up and fire it at the rock over there." And so they did, except it wasn't a rock; it was a camel.
Oh damn!
And they blew up some guy's prize camel.
Sheesh. So it was a camel.
This story is that
Right, okay.
obviously SD knows other people in the services who would have other stories, and so his goat story can still be an accurate story. But I think SD knows who I'm talking about. He's probably heard this story.
Hey, Dingle Games. Are you watching live, Dingle? I just saw you follow. He followed 6 minutes ago. If you're there, Dingle, feel free to pop in the chat. Sorry, Jim. Didn't expect him to be listening.
He's just put in the group chat that you can't message on Twitch.
Ah, right, okay. Oh, well, hello anyway.
Yeah.
How's
But
your
yeah, like the issue is that the shipping stuff basically through the airspace of places that have banned these munitions. So by all means, unless the Americans fly over Russia to get to Ukraine, which would be a stupid idea because the Russians would definitely be trying to shoot it down. They're probably going to be breaking a bunch of laws because, again, like Spain have not only signed on and banned them, they denounced America for even thinking of sending them.
Well, if the Americans did, they can technically fly it over. They would just have to avoid Russian airspace.
Oh yeah, I mean, but the chances are they're going to fly it over Europe.
Communist airspace, whichever. Basically avoiding BRICS airspace.
BRICS airspace?
Brazil, Russia. I can't remember what I is.
India? So India have been shipping weapons to Russia.
I'm going to have to Google it now. I can't fucking remember what they are.
But yeah, like as I was saying, like they're trying to ship these weapons
Brazil,
to Ukraine.
Russia, India, China.
Pardon?
Brazil, Russia, India, China.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I thought India would be the eye.
It's really odd.
It's really odd that they're the eye because they used to be allied with us, and now they're giving Russia weapons and stuff for some reason.
Yeah, I think they're just... Well, the thing is, it's a poor nation. India is a very rich nation with very poor people in it.
Yeah.
You think we have a cost of living crisis?
Yeah.
India has a fucking cost of living crisis.
India also is one of the fastest growing economies.
Oh.
Well, it's only because they got really developed with a load of rich people in one place, and then the only way they could do it is expanding.
Yeah.
And that's what they call it, rapid expansion. Well, what you said.
Yeah. But yeah,
Okay.
you know, but what I'm saying is they're going to have to fly over friendly airspace. But, like, again, Spain have denounced them for doing this. We've said that, you know, we're against it. Germany has said they understand why they've done it, but they've still signed on to the agreement. Canada have said that they're against it. Canada are the ones that are screaming, "Who's going to think of the children?" We've just said we've signed on to it, so we're not agreeing with it.
Huh.
Well, the thing is, we had to sign on to it. because, well, we're the United Kingdom.
And we didn't have to do shit.
No, what I mean is we have to be.
We have to be seen to be doing the right thing. Yeah, I know what you mean.
The right thing.
But like, genuinely, we didn't have to sign on to it. But honestly, I'm glad that we did.
Well, the thing is, the enemy is going to use cluster bombs anyway, so you might as well use them.
Fight fire with fire. Fight bombs with bombs.
If you use them, you could say if a few years later you get one of the kids get their foot blown off, say, well, it wasn't our cluster bombs. Because the Russians are using them as well.
Unfortunately, if you have specifically said that you are going to give those cluster bombs to someone, and then they're found, and let's be honest, America always stamps the flag on everything. You're gonna know it was theirs.
They should put red, white, and blue fucking paint in them.
What, make it look French?
But when they explode, it shows the American flag.
Oh, right. I immediately went to the French flag.
No, that is not.
I mean, the Russian flag is also.
Oh, it is, yeah. Yeah. I just forgot about that. I always just think France.
And our flag.
I think the French.
Yeah.
The Union flag.
I was obviously thinking of specific, not just the colour scheme.
And
the French
I
are
believe
great people. It's the politicians that are complete wankers in their country.
The thing about the French is their military is woeful, and their politicians are wank, but the people will stand up for what they believe in.
And they're damn good at sports.
That is right. I don't think any of us are particularly fond of sports, though.
No.
I thought he was missing a toe then.
What the? Oh, you're about the. Oh. It would be one thing if it's missing one. If he had an extra toe, then we might think he was part of the Whitakers.
Oh, I just seen a message.
A Indian organisation
Qatar.
buying United for £6.5 billion. They're not a poor country. Just have a few areas like we do, like every country do.
That was in response to our conversation about India earlier.
Oh.
Except, again, we didn't say it was a poor country. We said it was a rich country with lots of poverty, and that it was the fastest growing economy. I'd like to reiterate that for you.
Yeah, don't misquote him.
But yeah, just that this whole thing with the bombs being sent, like, I disagree with it personally, because cluster bombs are just fucked up.
Clusterfuck.
I just wanted to get everyone else's opinions on it.
I think that everyone should just commit mass suicide and start all over again. So I think. So. I'll see you guys. Imagine I just left and just kept the recording going. You're like, where's he gone? I mean, I'm not pro-war anyway. I mean, wars, human nature, they will have to be fought to the end of time. And I'm surprised we haven't had a World War III, to be quite honest with you. I don't think we will in our time. But I reckon maybe our grandchildren. So I'm not for war at all. They will carry on to be fought, no matter what my opinion is. But
I'll tell you what's going to happen.
I think it could be extremely dangerous to use weapons of that mass destruction. It's just like a nuke. Even a nuke, when you see what it can leave in its wake, is it's horrific. So I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's just more. If you're not violent, it's hard as well because I'm not living there.
Yeah.
So for the moment, I'm not saying we're not under threat at all, but we're not in the firing range. We're not in the firing line. No pun intended there. So You know, until I start hearing news about the UK have decided to or Russia have decided to to the UK, then I'll be a bit more switched on. But for now, generically, just in general, I don't think. No, of course not.
It's also the men of Ukraine aren't pussies, and they stayed there to fight. Unlike these fucking wankers coming from their refugees coming from their countries, where it's men as well. It's like, go home, you pussy. Fucking fight for your country.
I shout. You carry on, SD. Before.
Yeah. If the Third Reich decide to show their true colours and, say that, we can't win by sheer force, so we're going to win by diplomacy, i.e. the EU. If they get their European army and get the support of the Americans, that's going to cause World War III with Russia.
So I'm guessing it's not mandatory to join.
It will be, because it'll be a super state.
The Third Reich has already been and gone. That was the Nazis.
The thing is, what's
you mean the Fourth Reich, right?
Okay, yeah, the Fourth Reich. The Fourth Reich is pretty much the EU, because it's all controlled by the Germans anyway. The French do what they're told, and nobody else really has a say.
Spanish, Italian.
Next election, Labour will get in, and Labour will push for a second referendum to make us join. When we join, there'll be a push for a European army, which will have to join, and then the next 10 to 20 years after that, that's when the next World War III will happen.
And you think it'll be compulsory like it was with the first two?
Super state, and all hell will break loose. That's my prediction.
I will say this, as someone who was a Remainer, if that referendum comes, I will be voting to remain out of the EU, because the problem is that now that we've left and we've lost all the power in the EU we had.
Am I hearing properly?
If we rejoin, we will not have the same power that we had before.
Let him have his moment. Go on.
What?
Now that we've left and we've removed ourselves from the decision making. Well, yeah, but we've taken a step down to a lower level. They will never let us go back up to the level we were before.
So, just to quickly, I don't want to interrupt. Just a little slide in. Well, what are we technically to the EU now? If we're not officially in it, but we're not out of it either.
Basically, none of the politicians who pushed for the referendum actually wanted to leave the EU. So they never had a plan to leave the EU. And that's why it dragged out for so fucking long, because nobody wanted to do it.
Oh, I see.
Nobody wanted what we wanted. So we're sort of fuck it all up and say, oh, it's Brexit's fault. Let's rejoin when fucking Labour get in. That's what's going to happen. Labour will get in, there'll be a second referendum, and we'll be dragged back in.
But what I'm asking is, what part do we play in the EU now? If we're not certainly out,
we're sort of on this fringe situation where we don't have any say in what the EU does, and we're not technically a member state of the EU, but we're still paying them money.
Benefits.
We're what? Country on benefits.
Friends with benefits, but the benefit doesn't benefit you.
Right, okay. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind if I had one.
You're the one who's fucked.
If I had one girl from each of the EU countries, I wouldn't mind that. We can be friends with benefits any day.
Yeah. Unfortunately, what SD is saying is that everything that we used to have, like free movement into the EU states, like you used to be able to just get on a ferry or get on the Eurostar, go to France, buy loads of cheap alcohol, and come back to England, and you wouldn't have to deal with any like customs or any of that crap.
They're really good at legal immigration and taxing the fuck out of it, but they're pretty fucking useless at illegal immigration.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you're illegals, it's fine. Off you go, it's fine. Oh, okay, Mr. British person. You're bringing an extra pouch of baccy. That's an extra 40 quid on top. On the top of the dinghy, you wouldn't have to pay it.
Now that we've left, yeah, that's it. Also, we have to apply for visas now to go to Europe.
Right, yeah.
Stuff like that. So
intriguing.
We have to pay extra to go on holidays to Europe, so stuff like that.
Do we?
Yeah, because you have to apply for a visa now.
Really?
Because we're not part of the EU.
Because my missus' parents, they're going on like a cruise, and they're going to like all different like the Americas countries, and that was I don't know. I'll tell you about the previous cruise. So say the last cruise, they went like all around like the European countries, whatever, like around Spain, the Canary Islands, whatever. And they didn't have to get visas.
When was the last cruise?
I think last year.
So we didn't finish coming out until like, because the whole thing was with the Northern Ireland and Republic of Ireland border thing. That's what was holding us back from actually fully leaving.
Oh, so they wouldn't agree to the terms we wanted, which is not a solid border.
Due to the Good Friday Agreement and that whole thing, because it's really messed up, and I don't understand why they're not agreeing with the agreement that we already had with the Republic of Ireland.
I would just say to us, like, legal migration is okay, illegal migration not okay. I mean, you could just wave past, like, Irish people.
It's not even that. It's like the legal migration, as you say, is fine, and everyone agrees with that. But nothing in any treaties is ever been written about illegal immigration, because illegal immigrants are doing things illegally. I can't believe I've never actually
properly looked it up.
You sound starstruck.
I was annoyed. I mean, I'm a bit confused about the whole Northern Ireland situation, because all I know about it's Catholics against fucking Protestants.
Basically, the entire thing is that Northern Ireland is controlled by us. Republic of Ireland is controlled by the Irish. And at the moment, everything's fine. Like, the IRA aren't a military factor anymore. They're a political factor now, and they're not the IRA anymore. They're the IRP or whatever. And they are in the Northern Ireland political scene, sort of trying to get Northern Ireland to rejoin the Republic of Ireland and all that. You know,
does it want to be part of Europe or whatever,
or something like that? They just don't want to be part of us anymore.
That's what I get. You want to be independent, but you want to be part of Europe. It's like with the whole Scotland situation. It's like, well, you want to be independent, but you want to be part of Europe. It's like, well, you're either going to be independent or part of a union. You can't have both.
Let's not go back to previous
I know.
topics. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but we've been down that road.
Yeah.
So with the Northern Ireland situation, it should be a case of the Irish can walk about perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But when it comes to people who are outside of the Union or Ireland, they shouldn't be allowed across.
That's the thing. That's what we were arguing for. That the people from the Republic of Ireland should be allowed to freely go across to Northern Ireland. The people in Northern Ireland should be freely allowed to cross into the Republic of Ireland. And the European Union is saying that anyone in the part of Northern Ireland is a British citizen, therefore any British citizen can go to the Northern Ireland, then freely go into Ireland, then freely be able to move around Europe.
Huh.
And that's their argument. That's why they want to put a hard border.
Yeah, but I know Ireland's part of Europe, but it isn't really.
Yeah,
it's part of Ireland. It's separate from the bloc.
it's one of those things where it's a weird, buffer state.
I mean, the
Right back,
UK
guys.
is literally literally a landmass where the EU shit doesn't stick.
Yeah. But again, what the
All
EU
the
have been
pushing
saying.
for is going, Ireland, you're better off not being part of the EU.
Yeah, but they won't agree with that because they hate us.
Deal with this bullshit with the Good Friday Agreement.
Yeah,
Because
but
you
again,
can really go, and then you don't have to fuck around with Europe.
But again, they hate us. So why would they listen to us?
Yeah, true.
So again, the issue is that the EU don't want us to be able to go. Like, it'd be like if you and I decided, oh yeah, we want to go to France.
Oh, my Führer Mikel. Oh, hang on, she doesn't have a beard, does she? Or a tash.
Yeah, like if you and I decided we wanted to go to France, and if we go through like the Eurotunnel or on the Barfleur or the Condor or whatever, and we go to France, we need to have all of this paperwork in place beforehand. But if we go, I want to go to France, I don't mind spending a few extra hours or like a couple of extra days going over to Northern Ireland, going over the border there to Republic of Ireland, and going from the Republic of Ireland to France. If you get what I mean, because then, if that's
It's still going into Europe, so...
Yeah, but if that's a soft border, which is what we were asking for, where we can just freely walk past, then we can just go into Europe without having to declare that we're going in there.
Fucking like sea mass between Ireland and fucking France.
Yeah, but the people from the Republic of Ireland can freely go into European states without any issues. But people in Britain now have to deal with issues because we've left. But we've been arguing with the EU over Northern Ireland because we want people who are living in Northern Ireland with family that are in the Republic of Ireland to be able to freely go to the Republic of Ireland to meet their family without having to cross a hard border.
To show you've got like an Irish passport when you're going across the border.
But if you're in the Republic of Ireland, you would have a British passport.
It declares that you're only allowed in this specific area, i.e. Ireland, and that's it.
Yeah, but if you're in the Republic, if you're in Northern Ireland, you would have a British passport, not an Irish passport.
Well,
it's a stupid situation that has been caused by us having a treaty with the Republic of Ireland to say that we still have Northern Ireland, and then that's coming a bit us in the ass because we still want people who have family from the Northern Ireland to be able to meet their family in the Republic of Ireland. The people who have family who are from the Republic of Ireland who want to meet their family in Northern Ireland to have free access, and the EU have quite rightly pointed out that it can be abused.
I am so perplexed right now.
Yeah, so can the fucking channel. Love Europe, hate the EU.
Anyway, we've gone completely off.
Yeah, we've forgotten the damn subject now, I think.
Yeah, we were talking about cluster bombs.
Oh, that's the one.
I will say that I did get.
I think Putin is going to be the next villain of Fallout 5.
Oh my god.
That's what Dingle said.
Mm.
He also agreed with me that it is fucked up.
Oh fuck me, yeah. Fallout.
Well, I think SD agrees as well, don't you?
One really like, not California, but the state that's really close to closest to Alaska, but not California.
But California's nowhere near Alaska.
I know you've got USA, Canada, Alaska.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna look this up whilst you tell us your opinions on cluster bombs.
Yeah, what do you think about I can't. If you said it, I don't think we heard you.
If the enemy's going to use them, we might as well use them.
What if
It's
you?
like chemical weapons.
What if you knew?
Chemical weapons.
What if you knew? What if we had a common? The seagulls though. What if you knew that they would never be used against us? Would you still want to use them just in case, so we could get an advantage if a war got out of control, or would you not?
If they don't use it against us, we won't use it.
Okay. Of course, that's
what the agreement is. If you're fighting another country that has the same agreement that you signed, that you won't use cluster munitions, chemical weapons, any of that sort of shit, because you've had a gentleman's agreement that we won't use this because it's wrong.
Don't forget the woman and non-binaries. Let's not be sexist.
Oh yeah, push all the trans people to the front line. See how they handle it.
All right, we're not endorsing that. That's the views of SD.
Yeah, that's just SD's opinions, not the opinions of the podcasters.
Yeah.
Tell
us this fact, and then we should move on because we've been going on for a little while. So I'll let you proceed. Continue.
By the way, SD, the closest state to Alaska is Washington, as in Washington State, not Washington DC, which is part of, I want to say Pennsylvania. No, it's part of Maryland. That's
Pennsylvania.
DC is a district in Maryland, I believe, but Washington State is separate, and it's the closest state to Alaska. Anyway, I think that does it. I think that does it for that section. So I think we can move on to a nicer one.
Nicer one. Well, we're not talking about the Fourth Reich in Europe.
No, I do not want to talk about the Fourth Reich in Europe because I would then have to actually look it up and probably get in trouble. So, R-Techz.
I just banged my toe. Damn it, that hurt. Hello, what's up?
It's your topic now, isn't it?
What's going on? Yeah. As long as you guys finish saying what you're saying, then of course we shall move on.
I might have to turn on my TV if you need to.
Yeah, I'll be sharing my screen, so if you guys can make sure.
Okay, I'm gonna have to turn on my TV.
Have you both done your final thoughts on this then?
I think so, yeah, because I did mine first.
Okay, well if you've both done yours, I'll just quickly say that to be fair, I'm with both of you. If they use them, we use them, you know.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Like the old saying, bringing a knife to a gunfight. Do you know what I mean? If you've got a knife, I'll have a knife. If you've got a gun, I'll have a gun. If you've got a strap on, then I'll bend over. Anyway, that's a story for another time. Cool. Alright, well that's basically it. And lovely breaking the wind there. That was...
You heard that?
I did. Yep, I did. Alright, well let me know when you two are ready and I'll get into what the beep one's about.
I'm ready.
Cool.
Just need you to share your screen so I can jump in.
I have right now. Join me, mofos.
Watch stream.
And before we start,
I'm glad that
Oh god.
alright, we both good?
Yeah, we're good.
Cool, so this game is called Poppy Playtime. You must stay alive in this horror puzzle adventure game. Try to survive the vengeful toys waiting for you in the abandoned toy factory. Use your grab pack to hack electrical circuits or nab at anything from afar. Explore the mysteries facility and don't get caught. Now I have this in my library, as you can see here. I'm yet to play it, but it does look creepy. There's 2 chapters, and I'm actually
There's
going to...
3 now.
I think the 3rd one's still yet to come out, because if you go down here, it's got 2.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. So you've heard of it then, Jem?
Oh, yeah. Just gonna put it out there.
Have you played it?
I haven't played it, no, but
Ah.
I do like to watch Game Theory.
Oh, okay, and he's been on it. Oh, of course he has.
He's been on it. He's done a lot of videos on it, talking about the story of it and trying to explain it.
Yeah, that's like the same with me with the what's it called? The Fazzy. What's it called? The
Five Nights at Freddy's.
that one. Yeah, I've seen a lot of theories of that. But yeah, again, that's one that I've never played either. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to play you both these trailers, only like a minute each. I'm going to play you the second one before the first one, because I actually prefer the first one. So
Yeah, that's fair.
let's have a little gander. Can you guys hear this?
Yes.
Cool, and I'm going to give them both a like as well. Can't believe I haven't done that.
Terrible things have happened. Where do I even begin? You are perfect. Too perfect to lose. You're in grave danger. She's watching your every move. So you better be careful. Mommy doesn't like guests. A new playmate. It's been
God.
so long.
Oh my god.
Anyway, that's 2. Let's go for 1.
You've been so naughty. Dun, dun, dun. Don't you want to play with me?
Booyah. Alright, that's it. Thank you for joining us, guys. SureDiesAlot. That'd be a creepy note to end, wouldn't it? So, I'll give my just a little
Don't
bit,
you want to play with me?
a little bit on it. I think it looks very cool. I'm tempted to play it. I mean, I got it in the library. The next one's like what, £4, the second chapter, but I haven't played it at all yet. I'm a bit on edge. So I haven't played it, but it looks creepy. It looks weird. It looks different. It doesn't look like your stereotypical horror.
Yeah.
I like that. I like it when people make horror out of like the most innocent situations.
Yeah.
Or ideas or whatever. Yeah, it just freaks me out whenever I see anything about it, and I know bits about the story, about the characters. I've delved quite fairly deep in it, but I haven't played it. I might do, I might not. What does we'll go to SD. He's used to going last. You can go next this time. What do you reckon on those 2 trailers?
Is it a bit like Alone in the Dark? I don't know if you've heard of that game.
Yeah, I've heard of it. That's like a PS2 game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never played it though. Is that the one where you shine the light and they go away, or is? Oh, is that actually the one?
And you have to work through and work out like puzzles.
Wasn't there 2 of them? 2 Alone in the Darks, wasn't there?
I think there's 3. I played the 3rd one. That was fucking retarded.
Yeah, the most recent one of the...
I don't know, no idea.
The most recent Alone in the Dark game, they turned it into like a first-person shooter in that, didn't they?
Oh.
Because the first 2 were like point-and-click adventure sort of things, I think. No, they were... No, Alone in the Dark was one of the games that influenced Resident Evil, so it was...
The fixed camera type view.
Fixed camera, tank controls sort of thing.
Really, really stiff gameplay.
Yeah.
I guess in a way this is a bit more fluid. But the only trouble with that is you move a lot faster and so do the enemies. Getting chased by a fucking like toy. Fucking arms doing that.
Dingle has said that he's got stuck and never went back. Playtime.
He's played it. Yeah. Intriguing.
I know that every playthrough I've watched of it, when they first see the big blue guy, Huggy Wuggy, they always either slap him in the face or try to give him a high five.
And I'm guessing that doesn't end well.
Well, because he doesn't react when you first see him, but when you go back there, he's then missing from that spot. But as far as I'm aware, it doesn't actually affect the gameplay if you do it or not. But it's just hilarious that that's something that always happens. Everyone I've seen, they will go, "Hey, dude."
But does it like, does he react to it? Like, does it like go back on anything or not?
No, because it's like at that point it's just like a statue. And then later on you find out, oh shit,
it's alive.
That was actually alive.
Yeah.
Why did I slap it in the face?
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah. So, what would you reckon, Gem? I know you've got more knowledge.
I find the story of it interesting. The main thing about horror stuff is I just don't like horror stuff. Like Resident Evil, I can get by because, for the most part, it's like zombies, and I don't find zombies actually all that scary. So I enjoy zombie media. But like anything else that's horror related, I generally tend to not enjoy because I just don't like being scared.
Nah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's genuinely it though. Like I don't enjoy horror movies. I don't enjoy most horror books or stories, and I don't enjoy horror games because that like scary parts of games, like pretty much every flood encounter in the first Halo. When I played that when I was a kid, I just couldn't do it. It was just too scary. I had to get my brother to play it.
What? Jeez.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
Legit. Obviously, in Halo 2 onwards, the flood weren't nowhere near as scary as they were in Halo 1, but you know.
There's I'm trying to remember what the game is. There's a game, and you can turn off a horror game. You can turn off the arachnoids or whatever. What are they called? Spiders? What's like the scientific term from arachnids or something?
Arachnids, yeah.
Oh, not arachnoids.
Because of arachnophobia, yeah.
Yeah. And there's a game, so instead of them being spiders walking around, it's just like blocks. And
I know that you can get a mod for Skyrim that turns the spiders into bears.
That's unbearable.
It doesn't change the stats. It's just a T-posing bear going around instead of a spider.
I'd find that more scary, to be honest with you. Especially the giant frostbite spiders, giant bloody bear.
Yeah.
T-posing coming after me.
A giant T-posing bear, yeah.
Sheesh.
What, Yogi Bears?
What
about T-Rexes?
But yeah, that's basically what I was showing. It looks cool. I think the story looks interesting.
I would say
It looks like it
Dingle
could freak the life out of me.
Dingle also responded to my comment on the zombies things, and he said that the zombies in 28 Days Later fucked him up real life. No lie.
And that's old as well.
That's old. Yeah. Again, like when 28 Days Later came out, we were all what, like
10 or something.
what? Yeah, 10, 11-ish.
I don't think I saw it until it was fucking like 5 years old or something stupid like that.
Mm.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it. I do actually want to go back and watch that.
Sucks being poor at that age. And also my dad being an arsehole and won't let like anyone watch what they want on TV. Fucking watch Emmerdale or some fucking gay shit.
Heartbeat, man. That's
Heartbeat.
Great series.
Pottery Channel or something, I don't know.
Pottery Channel.
Got a shout out to my Heartbeat lovers out there.
Oh dear me.
What were you saying before Rob said about his dad being an arsehole? What did you say before that?
I was just saying about 28 Days Later.
Oh, that's it, yeah. I've seen the 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you haven't done a 28 Months Later.
Dingle saying Home and Away is his soap of choice.
Neighbours. Neighbours.
28 Days Later, the sequel's 28 Weeks Later.
Yeah.
I just...
Did they ever get around to making that 28 Months Later?
I don't think they did they? I didn't find out. If it was a very small release.
If the zombies on 28 Days Later were like the zombies on Fallout, where they would scream before they start running towards you, that would have made it a bit more scarier.
Yeah. From 28 Days Later, it's only 28 Weeks Later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only so far they could have gone with it though. 28 years later, 28 decades, centuries, millennia. 28 millennia later.
It would just be an entirely new storyline.
Yeah.
Has absolutely nothing to do with the zombie plot, and just like, oh yeah, we got some records from the like 2002. Oh, there were zombies then. Oh well, we cured that disease like 2 million years ago.
Yeah. Fucking hell. Like in their ancient texts or whatever.
Yeah.
I've seen Rain of Fire.
Isn't
I have seen Rain of Fire. That's
yeah,
a great
that's with
film.
dragons,
You know,
isn't it?
They dug through to this like fucking underground dungeon or whatever, and the fucking dragons came out.
Oh,
They could do that, but with the zombies instead.
have you ever played the game?
Oh shit! Fucking.
Didn't realise Rain of Fire had a game.
Yeah, well, I've never seen the film, but I played the games. They were hard. They were
Done
hard.
the same thing.
And you could play as the dragons. Sorry, come.
They broke into this old tomb, and
Yeah.
then they had zombies in it.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen Dawn of the Dead. I've seen Shaun of the Dead though.
No, Shaun of the Dead's correct.
But yeah, that's cool. The Rain of Fire game is hard. I remember it being hard. That was around the time I was playing the Incredible Hulk game, and I was stuck on that level. You have to defend. That building. Whatever.
That's so fucking hard.
Yeah, you're meant to be like the ultimate being, like, and technically you're meant to be invincible, but obviously it's a video game, so.
The Hulk gets stronger and heals faster the angrier he is.
So you would have thought, like, the closer to death, the more powerful you'd be, but it's pretty much just the same.
Yeah, but you don't have to do the power-ups.
I can't remember. It was a very long time ago I played it.
Fucking long time ago, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the strongest Hulk we've seen so far in the comics is Worldbreaker Hulk. And obviously, going by his name, he breaks worlds.
Well, he just crushes like planets with his bloody hands.
Pretty much, yeah.
What I don't get is why doesn't Hulk fight Thanos before he gets all the Infinity Stones?
He does. He gets his ass. He gets his ass kicked in Infinity War.
In the
Or Endgame.
in the movies, he does, and they kind of do our boy Hulk dirty by claiming that he couldn't beat Thanos.
Yeah, they were on his ship, and he got his absolute. Yeah, and then Hulk was too embarrassed to come back out, so.
Yeah.
So he's not used to losing.
Thanos' ass.
Not in the films.
Not in the films.
If Thanos didn't have the Infinity Gauntlet, he would get his ass handed to him.
He's still a Titan.
Yeah, and I don't think he used any of the stones when he fought Hulk. I'm pretty sure it was just fists. Well, fists. I don't remember him using any of the stones, did he?
I think he had the Power Stone at that point because, for some reason,
Because the Hulk adapts
between the events of the bit where Thanos says, "I'll do it myself," and gets the gauntlet on that doesn't have any of the things in it, and the start of Infinity War, he manages to get 2 of the stones without actually showing how he got them, and one of them was the Power Stone.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think it's the Power Stone and the Space Stone he already has.
It would have been cool if they touched on how he got them, even if it was just minimalistic.
Yeah, I mean, Marvel at one point were doing shorts before like each major movie release.
Huh.
Like you got like things like Hail to the King,
Hail to the
Consultant, and a few others where it's like talking about characters that were in the movies. They really should have done one for Thanos getting the first 2 Infinity Stones. You only see him in the movie get the last 4, I believe. The Soul Stone, the Mind Stone, the Time Stone, and
the Sex Stone.
The one that does illusions.
It might just be called the Illusion Spell. Spell? Stone.
It's not the Illusion Stone.
No.
The Mind Stone?
The Reality Stone, that's the one.
Yes.
The Mind Stone. Yeah, the Mind Stone I think is the last one he gets.
But yeah, I forgot where we're going with this. I think we've gone off.
We've gone way off topic. We're talking about Poppy Playtime and then just went off on a complete tangent about TV and then movies.
Yeah, and I think Marvel's just gone downhill. I haven't had the same.
Horror games.
Is what?
I think the whole point of it was like talking about.
Yeah, because I was saying that
Playtime, and then we went to.
Because I said
Dark, which is pretty much what it feels like. But we haven't actually seen any like proper gameplay of it, like people playing it. I mean, you said it was a puzzle game. What kind of puzzles were we talking about?
Well, you use the arms, the hands, and they do different abilities and stuff.
Is that it?
That's literally it. Yeah.
There's more to this game.
It's not a long game. It's not a long game.
You've got 2 cannons, which each have a hand on them, and like a really long, like basically string on the back of them. And you fire the hands out, and they grab stuff. And if it's something that's loose, it pulls it back to you. And if it's not, then it grabs onto it. And then you can move around in that. There was a little bit of the gameplay in there, and then there's like in Chapter 2, you lose one of your hands and you replace it with an electric one where you can take electrical charge from one place and put it somewhere else.
I do have a question though. Do you ever find out who you are? Who the protagonist is or not?
Well, there's a theory that he's one of the directors.
Yeah, like one of the employees, because I saw the scene where the spidery girl is like, oh, you would know because you used to work here or whatever. So I've got little bits. Well, that's what I'm saying. They make it look like a toy. Maybe it's like the person's soul in the toy or something. I don't know.
So, according to game theory, and so take this with as many grains of salt as you need to, all the toys are made up of children, dead children.
Ooh.
You know, kind of like the hauntings of the animatronics in Freddy Fazbear.
Pedophiles, wet
Right. Yeah, I guess so.
Because the company had a adopt an orphan program sort of thing. Basically, they had their own orphanage. They'd get orphans to come in, and the staff could adopt the orphans from there. But if they didn't, then the orphans were then put into testing and then killed to become toys.
Sheesh, that's dark. I like it.
And it's the director's nightmare because he's a nonce.
Hey, that'll be the first video game we play as a nonce. Something different.
I actually don't think it is.
What?
I'm taking a piss and not serious.
I know, but I'm pretty sure there is a video game where you play it as a nonce.
No way.
I believe it's a fan game.
Ah.
So it's not a like.
Yeah, we only count published games. Yeah.
I mean, it was published. You can download it and play it.
Why not a nonce who tries to redeem himself, but the end result is he thinks he's going to have his fucking sick dream, but it turns out he's going to have his bollocks ripped off.
Yeah, the gameplay in that must be riveting.
Yeah, I wouldn't play that.
No. No, it just sounds like it would be like a really short walking simulator.
Yeah, it would basically be what's it called?
Michael Jackson style Save the Kids.
No. Green Mile.
Green Mile.
I was trying to think of Green Mile for all that time, and then you said that, and I was like, yeah, no.
Save the kids.
Alright, okay.
Again,
Let's. Oh, sorry, go on.
Again, I do not believe
yeah?
that Michael Jackson actually did anything with kids.
Hmm.
A horror game.
We might never know.
8-year-old going around the BBC at night.
Right, well, I think we should come to a close before this gets out of control.
Just before we let this get out of control and before we leave,
Yeah.
Dingle has made a funny comment.
Go on, say it out loud.
Plot twist: in the end of the game, the kid's the actual predator.
Nice. That is something. That's.
Oh no! One of those child murderers. I'm gonna get you.
Oh dear. Right. Well, on that kid note, what do we think? Final thoughts on the episode. Let's do the same thing as I did last time. The person who's currently rolling a cigarette. What do you think of this episode?
We kind of went off on a tangent on a few occasions, but to be fair,
When do we not do that?
Yes, that's a regular term.
is there really much to it, or have we not really investigated? I mean, it'd be a good idea if we each done our own research, but it's a case of just like, I enjoy going on this, having a few beers with my mates that I hardly ever fucking see, and talk about shit for an hour.
Yeah.
That's what I enjoy doing. And the more random shit we get to talk about, the better.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
So yeah, fight fire with fire. If Ukraine wants to use them, let them use them. They haven't signed the treaty as far as I know, and the Russians are using them, so it's entirely up to them if they want to use them or not. USA hasn't signed an agreement saying they can't use cluster bombs, and if they want to supply them, they can supply them. Just like any other nation has with supplying them ammunition and equipment. I don't know what the big deal's about. The Germans supplied them with tanks, us with ammunition. I don't see what's wrong.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And going on to this weird horror game, I would like to play it, but I don't have time. Don't have kids. Or a missus.
Yeah, you do. You have both.
I know.
No, he's telling the.
Yeah, I know. All right. Well, that's it from SureDiesAlot. And now it's on to Gemini.
Again, I still disagree with the sending of the cluster bombs, but yeah, SD does bring up a good point. The Russians are using them, so Ukraine, because the Russians are using them and Ukraine hasn't signed on to the treaty either, they can use them. And Ukraine have said that they're going to, they're not going to use them in urban areas. They're going to use them
in rural
areas to just break through the lines. But yeah, like again, I disagree with America sending them. I think that nobody should be using them. But you know, again, point SD raises is a valid one, and so whilst again I disagree with it and think it's fucked up, ultimately I can't really say anything on it. As for Poppy Playtime, again, not my cup of tea, but I support anyone who wants to play it. I support the creators of the game. They also have released a multiplayer game called Project Playtime.
Oh, go on. Have a quick rundown.
That's basically you get 4 people who play in a similar way to how the protagonist of Poppy Playtime plays. So they've got the hand machines, and then you have another player playing as a monster who goes in and tries to kill them.
Cool. So it's like Dead by Daylight, Evolve, 4 on 1 type.
Asymmetrical games, yeah.
Oh
damn! I'm gonna have to have a look at that. Is it on Steam?
It should be on Steam.
Is it free?
I do not believe it's free.
Bugger.
If Poppy Playtime could work on a laptop, an 8th gen Intel laptop
Project Playtime is free.
MX fucking 130 with 2 gig worth fucking shit.
The minimum requirements is a 64-bit processor and operating system, Windows 10, Intel Core i5, 8GB of RAM, NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1050 or Radeon RX 580, and 20GB of available space for the storage.
I just have a shit graphics card on my laptop. It's mainly for typing out shit in web browsing. Not for gaming.
So it's probably not too bad for you.
Even though I can play Fallout New Vegas on my laptop, but it does get rather hot.
Yeah.
Alright, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Playtime is free.
Okay. I'm gonna have to.
I shall send the link to you guys.
Yeah, do that. I'll click it. I'll have a look. I might even put it on my wish list.
Again, it's free. You don't need. You wouldn't even need to put it on your wish list. You can just download it.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, no, I think the cluster bombs. I'm definitely gonna use that in the thumbnail. Is wrong by itself, but yeah, if someone's using it, then you damn well use it back. Anything with the reason for using it might just be to bum rush the front lines, but if that ends up being ultra successful, ultimately, oh yeah, that's the one, and it ends up being like a big impact, no pun intended, I mean like it works very exceedingly well, they might continue to use it furthermore. They might have made their own not laws, may have made their own thought process on how they're going to do less casualties as possible, but in the end, if it works so well, they might think, oh, maybe we'll maybe we'll carry on using these, and then could take an interesting turn. But that's presuming that they even get that far. So,
Well, I think about the American cluster bombs would probably be better than the Russian cluster bombs. They're
reckon?
not all going to go off. Unless the Americans buy them from another company, which is probably from, like, I don't know, Israel or something.
You'd think Israel would do a good job as well because of just Israel being Israel.
I mean, they make a lot of other stuff like tourniquets, fucking Celox,
Uzis, Delils.
emergency care bandages, that sort of thing. They're pretty good to buy, even though they are
Desert Eagles.
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't want to.
Yeah, Hitler was onto something.
I don't want to keep going on. We better leave this to end it. Sorry, I'd say. But yeah, no, and the Playtime Poppy thing, I haven't really got too much to say. It looks like a good game. I got it on my library. I'll download. I might install that project Playtime. That'd be funny if if I got that. If we all played it. No, Gem doesn't play horror games. Unless Gem was the monster. Gem would have to be the actual monster.
I would always be the monster. I am the monster. I am the one who knocks.
I am one with the monster. Monster's one with me. Okay, so let's do the plug-in and then we'll go. R-Techz, catch them on YouTube, funnily enough. It was R-Techz Gaming, now it's ThaStr8UpBustas. We've got a Twitter 2. We've got a Reddit 2.
No, we only have one Reddit.
Oh, do we? Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
And TikTok from our main man Dingle. It's a shame you weren't here, my friend. We sorely missed you. But he's not dead, everyone. He's still alive.
Yeah.
And you try.
We're so glad that SD wasn't the host this time because he would have made out that you was dead.
Yes, we don't want that again. You two want to say your last little bits, and then we'll shoot off.
Alright, I'm Gem.
So I'll see you guys later.
Oh, okay.
Don't forget to sign up for our Twitter. Peace out.
Alright, okay, bye. Carry on, Gem.
I'm Gem. I'm going to be recording the next episode of Straight Up Warlords at some point. Not this coming week, but the week after, I'm guessing. I got to sort that out with the other people that are involved in it. See us on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Dingles, TikTok, the Reddit, if we've got it, other platforms, and enjoy, and we'll see you next time.
Amen, brother. And we're gonna hopefully, me and Jem will sort the details, but I think we're gonna do a straight up Mandos where we review. I think we're gonna do everything Star Wars, aren't we? Oh, I'm game to do that.
I'm happy to do that. Yeah, me, you, and the other two.
Ahsoka is will be the next one on the list. I think that comes out next month. It might be this month even.
I believe it starts next month.
Well, either way, I enjoyed the casting of her portrayal from the couple Mando episodes she was in. So we'll see if that rolls through there. It might be crap. You never know. And that's it. I'll leave you guys with a fist and a goodbye. Season 2, episode 6. We're halfway there. Not living on a prayer. Catch you guys in the next episode.